Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk about the solution. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk,
Let's
talk.
a podcast where our main focus is always the solution, a podcast for the people. I am your host, Talia, and today's topic is about the effects of being raped. Before we get off into our discussion, I would like to introduce our cast members, Allstate Anderson, Talita Dunn, and Miss Carol Reed. So, Miss Talita Dunn, I want to ask you, what do you think that we can do to come up with a solution with this particular topic of the effects of being raped?
A solution for the effects of being raped. Number one, we have to figure out what possesses a person to feel the need to take another person's choice away. Where does that come from? Like, your body is sacred. Your body is yours. It is given to you by the Most High. You are the controller of it. What makes another person outside of you, whether male or female? Because see, we focus on rape is for women only. Rape is for men. There's some men out there too that have been victimized by this.
Probably more
Okay,
than you can
more than we
imagine.
know because they don't talk about it. Men don't talk about it. But that's another topic for another moment.
Yeah.
But we're saying the thing is still, what makes any person think that they can take the power away from another human being?
I think it's,
How do we do that?
I think it's because of your upbringing and stuff. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot to do with your upbringing, because if your parents don't teach you how to respect, a woman, you know what I mean, then you're gonna think it's okay, because society like really grow you up. You know what I mean? Like when you're playing football or you fall, get up. Don't be a little wussy. Do this, don't do that. You know what I mean? So basically, I think it's just upbringing, of a man, a man or a woman, you know what I mean? Because if you grew up in a violent home, you know what I mean, then that's what you're gonna portray yourself to be. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Miss Carol?
That's
A lot of it, I think, comes back from when they are being raised, because they haven't been taught that back when, our parents and grandparents were growing up, they didn't have a choice. They always did what the man's, wanted them to do or said, or, you stay home, you raise the kids, you do this, you do that. So it's always been a male telling a woman what to do. So the man these days have not really learned no. And a woman has a right to say no when they want to.
They don't know how to be rejected, basically.
Exactly.
No.
It's the rejection.
But as the man, as the only panel, right? Yeah, as the only man on this panel, what about the man that been raped? You know what I mean?
But also,
Did the
he's
woman
given
learn
a
to
chance.
say no to? You know what I mean? Like
It runs
It
the
goes
same
both
way.
ways.
It goes
Okay,
both
now
ways,
we're
because
It goes both ways.
these days nobody understands the word
No
no.
one wants refusal. They don't want rejection. They're afraid.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't want it.
And they feel it's a power thing. Oh, if I do this, that makes me a big person. No, it doesn't. It makes you a little person, because
You're lowering yourself to your basic, most animal instinct.
exactly. Because if you think about it,
anything can do that.
in the wild, what do?
Right.
The male, right? Well, besides hunt, the male jumps on the female, holds her down, does his
Handle his
thing.
business.
So
Right.
it's like going back to that animal instinct that they don't have the esteem, I think, for themselves, that they're actually doing this.
Now, see, I'm on the flip side of that. I'm watching these younger generations of women. I'm watching them
That's what
become
I'm
more
saying.
masculine.
Yeah.
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I could name 1,000 reasons why they are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
could
know why
too.
I'm masculine. I can only talk for myself.
Why?
Because I
Because
had
they're
to
being
be.
The
abused or
greatest
something?
thing,
Single
going
mother.
through things like that,
Yeah,
it
a
makes
single
them
mom.
like that.
I had to
yeah.
be. I had to step up and be both for my family, because on the street I can't be the little woman I want to be. Oh yeah. No, people will run all over me and my children. So I had to become a more masculine female to take care of my family. Now I'm not going to blame my husband for that, or ex-husband, or whatever. It's not about all of that. It's the point of we're becoming more masculine as women, and I think that's what's causing us to start to even take the role of, because more of us are pushing ourselves on men. I've seen these young ladies like, oh, he gonna give me some.
Someone
Okay.
what?
I'm like, excuse me, young lady. What are you talking about? So it goes both ways now. It really does.
Right.
It's a revolving door now.
But I think I think it's been going on since slavery's days. You know what I mean?
No.
Like oh what?
It's
I
true.
think it's been
but
going
that
on since
is
slavery
true,
days.
but we ain't
You know
gotta
what I
get
mean?
all
But we,
real deep into it. But
Oh,
that is
excuse me.
no. I'm just saying. I'm not stopping you from stating your opinion. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
like,
It has
I
been going on
feel
since the
I
beginning.
agree with what you just said. Like it has because that's what happened in those times when
Mhm.
you
Right.
just had to this is what is going on. And I feel like a lot of people is like a generational thing. So and another thing is like it's a mental thing. So if you
Mhm.
feel like, oh, I want to be in control, a lot of men that do that to young women or just women, period, I think that they just feel like they just want to be in control and it's a draft that they have in their mind mentally
Most of it.
and they make it feel like it's okay because I'm a man and this is what you're supposed to give me.
Right.
But that's not the
Yeah,
truth because if
I
I
have
say
since
no, then
I've
it's
witnessed that.
absolutely no.
Okay,
I've witnessed
I
that.
think you're right on that. You know, I think you're
Mhm.
right like that. But also I think that most people who do the crime of rape, I think they most want to be in control. You know what I mean? They're dominant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They want to feel like they can control the situation. I think they're sick. Men, they're
Uh-huh.
sick, and I think those people need to just locked up and go away instead of raping and putting themselves in a teenager, someone who can say no, someone who can defend themselves. And I think they shouldn't be out of prison. I think once you're convicted
Yeah.
once,
Once,
you know what I
Yes.
mean, for
man.
that kind
That's
of
it.
stuff, you
Yeah, I
should be
feel like they
locked
should take
away
it serious because
sick.
if you
you
do
know.
a crime like that, especially
You're
to,
sick.
I'm not gonna just say especially to a teen because it matters to anybody
Anybody,
that
yeah.
get violated without saying, okay, I agree to this or whatever the case may be. I feel like if you do it once, you're
You
gonna
can
do it
again.
again.
It's
And
almost
again.
like a
And
And
yeah.
I feel like they
Yeah,
should
it's like a
like
drug.
really change the
Yeah.
law on
Yeah.
how much time they giving these men or women who's committing these crimes because it's like okay we got the what they call it the
Three-
Three
the
strikes
strikes.
out.
law.
yeah
Man, it
like
should be
no it
one
should be one strike and it's
strike.
One
over.
rape, you
Whoop.
out of here.
Because if you
know
do
what I
it
mean?
Get
once
outta
in your
here.
mind and you get a chance to do it, you're
Oh,
gonna
you
do
do
it
it
because
again.
it's in you.
It's you.
It's in you.
But a lot
Like
of
a dog
times,
that gets the taste of blood. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's
say
true.
after
And they
that,
say they
can't-
lock,
won't
it's
stop.
over with.
They
But
won't stop.
also
They cut that thing off.
Yeah.
the
I think that's what you should do. Just cut it off. Just-
right. But they also
Mhm.
it's harder for the victim to come forward
Oh, you never lied.
because of the fact of you have to relive it. If you've ever
Mhm.
gone through the court system with being a victim,
Mhm.
you have to relive every step of it as you're going through it, to convict them. But there's no, a lot of people don't want to do that because it's like
It's like
all
going
over
through it
again.
all over
You're
again.
right, you're living it all over again. And then
Mhm.
to see them just get a slap on the wrist,
Hmm.
a lot of the people aren't coming forward with that. So
Okay.
I think once they do it and they see this, that it's a pattern with a lot of them. Because, okay, I can do this to this one, I can do it to this one because they're not going to do anything and they're not going to come up because, again, you have to relive it.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna pause for a second and take a break so we can introduce Miss Elizabeth and we can get her side of the story because it's very deep and intimate. So we'll see you back
In a few minutes.
in a few minutes.
Go.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. And you know the name of the show. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Right. Where we focus only on the solution. Our guest today, wow, this topic, guys, is going to be amazing. We're talking about the effects of rape, okay? Now, we have our guest here, Miss Elizabeth Gerald. She's been on several national shows, guys. She's done several major interviews. She has been talking about what happened to her daughter for many, many months now. We're gonna just say a little bit about, well, years. Yeah, she says years. She said many years now. So, Miss Elizabeth, go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Marcy.
Well, first, I would like to thank you for having me on your show. I'm Elizabeth Gerald. The name of my organization is MJG Movement. And I have another one, Marcy's Marvels. And my daughter was 14 when she was brutally sexually assaulted. And during the court trial, it was a bit much for her. So she ended up dying by suicide as a result of the sexual assault. So rather than staying at home and just waltzing away, I turned my pain into my purpose. And I started
Amazing.
MJG
Yes.
Movement.
That's
Amazing. That is
So we do
the
that. That's what we do that.
that's
And it's the purpose. That's the word.
that's the whole premise of the show,
Yes.
which is why you're here today.
Mhm.
Now, I want you to tell us about, because you have two organizations, right?
Mhm.
One is a not-for-profit, correct? And one is an LLC.
LLC. Well,
One's a for-profit.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the MJG movement.
Enough proper.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I started MJG Movement in honor of my daughter because after my daughter died, people would say, well, Black people don't kill themselves and stuff.
Mm.
And when you do your research, we have more suicides than homicides in our community. But because of the stigmas and taboos, we don't talk about them. So what I did was when I first started, it was for suicide prevention. But as I grew, I had sexual assault victims reach out. And when I say I have sexual assault victims reach out to me from all over the world telling me their stories, I incorporated that. Then we incorporated domestic violence. And then we had sex trafficking victims reach out to me and tell me their stories.
wow.
And
That's
so I'm in the process of opening up safe houses. The Cook County Land Bank is actually donating properties to me, and for the women and children, and they
Wow.
will stay in there, and we will help them. We have different programs that they will go through, but we also feed the homeless. We do toy drives. We do for Thanksgiving. We give out baskets.
Wow.
You name it, we do it. We go to court if they need us to go to court. We help with
You're
order
advocates.
protections.
You're
Yeah, we do
advocating.
everything.
Ooh.
There's nothing we really don't do, and because everything we've done, we've gotten so much national attention. And by me being a Black woman talking about sexual assault and domestic violence and suicide, I didn't think it would go anywhere, but the
It's
grace of
taken off.
God, it's grace
That's
of God.
good.
Well,
Yep.
it has taken off.
Yes.
Now,
Mhm.
on that note, I want to focus on that because not only did you not think it would go anywhere,
Mhm.
you had no clue how fast it was going to go somewhere.
No, I didn't.
Like, tell us a little bit about what started happening. Like, what doors started opening for you. Like, you had some serious interviews, I know.
Yeah, I've been on almost every platform. I know Oprah. Michelle Obama's actually nominated me for a presidential award, which I will be getting this year, July 20th.
July 20th.
And somebody
Congratulations.
in Obama
Good,
administration
good.
will give it to me. Jennifer Lewis has reached out and told me her story. I know Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles. I've done stuff with Chance the Rapper because he does a lot of stuff with mental health. I mean, almost, I know so many A-list celebrities have actually reached out and told me their stories. It's just crazy. I've been on almost, if you Google my daughter's name, almost every magazine has had me. I've been on TV. I've been on the radio.
Tubi, for sure.
I got my
She has a
documentary.
on Tubi.
My documentary broke records within 2 weeks. It got over 48,000 views. So now Netflix and Amazon Prime is taking it over.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Congratulations. This has turned into, and you speak what becomes your reality.
Yes.
And when you named it,
Yep.
you had no clue, huh, that you were
No.
speaking it into existence because it has
I
become just
didn't
that, a
think it-
movement.
No, because
Right.
there are so many people that talk about sexual assault and stuff, and you just don't even hear who they are.
Mhm.
But I've actually had like I know Tawanda Burke, she's with me too. I've
Awesome.
BLM. I've done stuff with them, and even when George Floyd happened, BLM, some mothers from all over the world to come stand in solidarity with the family, and I went down to Minneapolis and stood in solidarity with other families.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. So you're right there in the meat of it. And that's what I love about your organization.
Mhm.
Not to take anything away from other nonprofit organizations that help in the same areas,
Right.
but you rarely see a CEO and founder of a nonprofit in the street.
Right.
You're out there with the
Right,
people.
right,
You're
right.
advocating in the court. I see
Right.
you.
Right.
And
Thank
I'm like,
you.
what in the world? How does she have the energy, first off? And how does she just have this? You're a superwoman.
Thank you.
Superpowers.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else have any
Yes,
questions,
I do,
guys?
I do,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
To me, as a male, you know what I mean? I think you're a phenomenal woman.
Oh, wow.
Phenomenal woman.
Thank
Because
you.
why I think that is because most people that go through the trauma that you go through would have just wrapped up and die. You know what I
Right.
mean? Would have
Right.
just give up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But for you to take all that, you know what I mean, and giving back to people, you know what I mean? I think that you're phenomenal. I have
Thank
so
you.
much respect for you.
Thank
And it's the
you.
first time I meet you, but I said this
Thank
to Talita over and over and
Mhm.
over that I think you're a phenomenal woman.
Thank
You
you.
are the definition of a survivor, of
Yes. Amen.
a strong woman.
Thank you.
You know
I
what I
A
mean?
strong
appreciate it.
Black woman. at
Strong
that.
black
Yes,
woman.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, babe. So we want to talk about some other things that are going to be happening really quick now.
Mhm.
I want to. What do you feel about all of this? Like, I'm gonna start with Miss Carol. what do you feel about the whole movement itself? And do you have any questions for Miss Elizabeth?
I think it's a great movement. And we were talking before the show and about the different pieces and the parts of it and how, you know, it was all going to come to be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I applaud you
Thank you.
because you, being a mother myself, I could not imagine going through what you've gone through. And even now what you're going through to make everything happen.
Right.
And all the support and everything that everybody's come and given you is amazing.
Yes. Thank you.
It's just like, you know, it's like
Thank
somebody
you.
is actually taking a weight off of all of the victims with seeing you go through with what you're doing and getting each step by step done.
Yeah, like being an inspiration to other moms that can't
Right.
talk
Right.
about it, that's just so devastated. You
Right.
give them the hope and the courage
Thank
to
you.
go on and say, you know what, I know this happened to me and it's a bad situation, but I can move forward.
Right.
So that's a good thing. And I appreciate you being here, being able to talk about it and express it, because I know this is a really like iffy topic, especially
Right.
and it's your child, your
Right.
daughter.
Right.
So yeah, like with everybody else, I agree. I just thank God for you. Thank God
you.
for
Thank you so
your
much. Thank
strength
you.
and the fact that you able to get up every day and continue on and say, you know what, I got this.
Thank you.
And especially for the short amount of time that you've,
It has been a short amount of time.
right, the short amount of time, because this happened in 2014
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
and it's on 2022.
Mhm.
In that short of a time,
Mhm.
and it's amazing. I
Yes.
wouldn't, I don't know how many people would be where you are today
Right.
if it were them.
Gotcha.
How you came up with all of this and the courage to go from step one to step now.
Mhm.
Incredible.
you.
Incredible.
It's the grace of God.
Definitely, I agree
It
with
really
that.
is.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
So,
Amen.
so my question is like, how can we get in touch with your organization if someone want to donate or someone want to, help, because I feel like King Lear Production, we want to do something for you in any way that we can. So how can people find out more about your organization?
Well, I have a Facebook page. It's Elizabeth Gerald, which is Gerald, and it's a TF for Team Family. That's my personal page, and I also have an MJG Movement page on Facebook. I have an MJG Movement page on Twitter, and I think it's MJG Movement on and RG too. I believe that's what it is.
And your website as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we also you also have the comic book. Now we have to touch on the comic book, guys, because what we're trying to talk about is like just uplifting our young people, like we've been talking about in previous segments as well. Just starting early, starting with our kids early about confidence and building yourself up and all those things, so that if something traumatic does happen in your life, that you can handle it a little differently, maybe. So tell us about your comic book. You have a children's book out as well.
Right.
A little bit the children's book.
I
Yeah.
have a comic book, a coloring book, and a children's book. We're actually getting the children's book into schools. I even have a friend in Arizona that she's getting into the Arizona school districts too. And it's on my website. And my comic book, it's a Black Girl Resilience comic book. And by me being the only one that has one out there, I've actually working with producers from Marvel to turn my comic book into a Black Girl Resilience movie.
Oh,
Okay,
fantastic.
that's what I'm
Black
talking
Girl
about.
Resilience.
On
Yes,
your
good
website,
stuff.
can they order the book and have
She
it
has
shipped?
to put it on there, but I brought one for her.
I brought one.
but
I was
she
supposed
left
to
it in the
show it. I
car.
left it in the car today.
It's in the car.
I was going to
Okay,
show
so
it.
there is a
but
way that if somebody
there's
wants
a way
to,
you can order it.
to get it and purchase it for,
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
mail
put
them
it
all
up
the
there
time.
for her. Yeah.
I mail them all the
We're
time.
going to put it up there.
So I decide like we do different stuff. We have t-shirts, like on
Okay.
our website, Kinglayer www.com.
That's where he's going to put it.
Right?
Oh, my comic
And
book?
and basically what we decided we're gonna throw your comic book on our website.
Oh,
And
wow.
right. And also every t-shirt that we sell, we give a portion of it to a non-profit organization.
Okay.
Right. I think that we should do that for MJ Movement.
Yeah.
right?
wow,
And
thank
also, we was gonna do a bottle of the band in the end of the year,
Fundraiser.
a fundraiser, and I think we should do that for you.
Oh my God, thank
Okay?
you.
So
Yeah.
I
Well.
pledge today, as the CEO, the founder of King Lear Production, that we will, do something for your organization.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Yes, you
Oh,
deserve it.
what? Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Deserve all
much,
Appreciate
Miss
it.
Elizabeth, for coming
Thank
out.
you. And thank
We
you for
really
having
appreciate
me.
you. And girl, just keep moving forward. You're
She got
amazing. I mean,
this.
absolutely amazing.
She got it,
Black
she
girl
got it.
resilience.
Yes.
Look, we need a T-shirt. We need a
Let's
T-shirt.
go.
We need a
Okay.
T-shirt. It says
Alright,
Black Girl
yeah.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt.
There you go.
That's what we need on that.
With my head
Andre,
up
hear
high.
that?
Where's your movement?
Andre.
Andre.
Where's my
Where's that? What's that?
my branding company? Where's he at?
He's over. He's over. He's gone.
Hey, Andre, you hear that? Black Girl Resilient. Work on that logo, okay?
MJG.
MJG.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you guys. I'm so grateful.
Awesome.
So
Is that
this
it?
is a good interview. This is a good.
Okay.
This is a good show.
I'm sorry. Are we still rolling?
Thank you very much to come out here to this to us in this show, and I'm just in awe. I'm just like, really, I am in awe.
Thank you.
Like, I am in awe because I know what it is like to leave from, like, in a place where you feel like you're crippled,
Mhm.
to start crawl again. You know what I mean?
Right.
To where you can help someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, as a black man and as a man myself, I give you much respect.
Thank you.
Much respect.
Thank
And I wish you
you.
all the success,
Mhm.
and I wish you reach as many life as you can. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go over again. Can you give us your website, just so that we can all have it?
The website is MJG Movement
.com.
.com.
Okay, so it's pretty simple.
Well, I'll send
MJG.
it to you and you can
Mhm.
put it on the website.
I'll post it for you.
Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you.
So we're gonna stay tuned for some comedian coming up. You have more information in that, Ms. Kara?
Yes. Yes, 2C's Comedy Shop. We have comedians that we've formed a group in, and they're here tonight to do a little segment and to get you guys some laughing.
All right, let's
Alright.
go. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk about the solution. Let's talk.